Dum dee da da dum dee dee da dum dee dee da.
Hi to you all today. Hey, I'm going to take you through a tune that I've been trying out. I had someone send me a tune that had slightly different choices for bar measures, and they were asking me about what would I think of maybe as a response to what they were sending. And so I wanted to share what I've been trying so far. I've made a little recording of it with just myself, the fiddle strumming, and also maybe just a little idea of what a backing fiddle could do or how it might shape the chords. But sometimes it's fun to try something strange. I know I've had instances in the past where people have sent me tunes that had these, as they call it in the old time music world, crooked tunes. It's not very often that you see it in Irish music, right? So it's always interesting to start thinking about this kind of thing. So here is a tune, and it's going to have a first part, which is groups of 4/8 notes. So you're going to be thinking 4, 4, and 4. In other words, you're going to count to 3 for a measure, and there's going to be 4 measures of that. So it's going 4, 4, 4, 4, 4, 4, 4, 4, 4, 4, 4, 4, and then repeat. And so I'll give you the first part of this. Yeah, I'd love to hear what people think about this. So the tune that I was listening to, I realized was in 3s, which is why I'm doing this in 3s. And so here's what the first part ended up being. I'm going to just play it at a nice easy pace. Now that's the 4 measures as I'm thinking of them. 3 beats in each measure. 1, 2, 3. 1, 2, 3. 1, 2, 3. 1, 2, 3. And I find myself, no matter what speed I take this at, I'm trying to define it for a listener. But when I first recorded it and then left it for a day and then listened to it, I went, wow, this is really confusing. I don't even get what I just did. Maybe now that I've told you what's happening, it's going to make sense. So this is not difficult fingering work at all. This is just a little mindset that is how the tune is going to go. So now I'm going to play all of that slowly and then at a little bit of a pace. So it's a bit of a challenge just to think of it as like a slower reel in 3s. The second part of the tune, I almost wanted to make it a little bit twisty. So one conceit in the second part is that it's going to be, again, 1, 2, 3, but there's just going to be 3 measures. So it's going to be 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3, 4. Next measure, and that's just counting kind of the notes, 8 notes. So you'll be thinking of bump, bump, bump. Second measure, bump, bump, bump. Third measure, bump, bump, bump. And that's it. And so this melody ends up going like this. So if I count this up, 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3. And then I'm repeating except for ending. So here's the repeat. 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, 1. Now, I was saying that there's almost a little trick in here, and the way I really think about this is as if the first beat of this second part is being treated almost like an introduction. So if you can imagine this melody starting with da-dum, da-da-dee, and make this the 1, 1, da-da-2, da-da-da, 1, da-da-da-2, da-da-da, 1, da-da-2, da-da-da, 1, da-da-dee-2, da-dum. So that makes sense? So the first little bit, instead of going dum da 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 dum da da da, and that this now answers da 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 dum dee dum. So I'm using my body here to kind of say this would be answering that, which doesn't make a lot of sense. And so it makes more sense if you treat the first beat of the second part as an intro to the rest of it, and then keep the rest of it in groups of 2s. So with that kind of body language, I'll keep going. Okay, well, I didn't practice that at all, but hopefully it made sense just listening to it. So I'm doing all my Irishisms of doing rolls and triplets, and yeah, and it's just kind of fun and different to play. I imagine that somebody like a Tommy Potts would have had fun with a tune like this and start creating different notes and everything else to what he's hearing there, or just be intrigued that it's not the usual 4 bars or, you know, for a reel. So I'm going to play it all the way through, and maybe I'll tip in a few little double stops. I did notice that the double stop that works best to come into the second part. I'm going with these notes, remember? But coming out of the first part, it's almost like I want to play a B on the G string, an F sharp, with that B then, so that I kind of but when I repeat, that no longer sounds correct because I'm like in a different slight key here in the second part. So I instead go for a G, kind of a chord, like a B on the A string and a G on the D string. So you can look out for that. I'll play the tune through and take it easy on my tennis elbow this week. And I'll share the little tape that I was trying this on GarageBand. And yeah, is it interesting? I mean, as soon as somebody just, like I say, it was just somebody had sent something along and it was all this kind of wacky changing of beats and how many there were in a half of a tune and within measures. And I thought it was interesting enough to give it a try, give it a whirl myself. So if you give this a whirl, let me know. And here is this tune. And yeah, and it's always interesting to learn something new. If you put your hands on this, I'd love to hear how it goes. But you can start figuring, everything will make sense once you play it yourself. So here we go. See you next time.